Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome to game number 6 of the USAPL, coming to you from lovely Bolingbrook on a bit of a cloudy evening. Had a little bit of drizzly rain earlier today, but that seems to have cleared up. Maybe made the field a touch damp, but otherwise it's a good night for cricket. Just to let you know, we apologise, we had some technical difficulties. We're joining you at the start of the third over. We see Mohit Patel come in for his first delivery to Srijay. Srijay picks up the ball, gives it back to the fielder. That would certainly rile up Ian Chappell, who's very adamant that the batter should never touch the ball, make the fielder pick it up and make him earn his pay. But this is the start of the third over. This is the third match for both of these teams. It's the Breybourne Cricket Club versus the Spartans Cricket Club. A big bash here on a Friday night. Mohit drops that in short. Srijay rocks back. Was right in his wheelhouse, and he dispatches that rather swiftly over the mid-wicket, deep extra cover. No, mid-wicket, almost cow corner boundary there. For 4. Good looking shot that. As the Spartans, who lost the toss, Braeborn won and elected to field, put Spartans into bat. Srijay with his second boundary of the day. He hit a 6 in the previous over. Good looking shot there from Srijay. That was right off the middle of the bat. Runs across the damp outfield. That looks like it might have prevented it going all the way to the boundary. I think Srijay expected that to run away for 4, which it may well have done last night, but a little bit of moisture around has slowed it down, acting as an extra fielder for the Breybourne Cricket Club. This is the 2.5 overs in. Spartans off to a rollicking start, 19 runs with Srijay Sunil, 13 off 7, and his partner Safta Syed just 6. That's a good looking shot there. Mohit coming into some punishment from Srijay. Srijay's in a beastly mode. Another big 6. Spartans rocketing along to 25 here in the third over. Srijay's on 19 off just 8 deliveries. Mohit, the under-19 representative, who's performed very well in the USAPL so far, taking a little bit of stick in this, his first over. Gives something for the Breybourne Cricket Club to think about. Breybourne being the undefeated club in the tournament so far. They played 2 matches. They beat the Virans and the Cardinals in their first match. Mohit with a false start there. Just lost his run up. Perhaps feeling a little threatened by Srijay at the other end, wielding a mighty piece of willow, and seems to be coming right off the middle of the bat. So it's a great night here in Bolingbrook. If you're anywhere in the area, you've got nothing else going on a Friday night, or even if you do, postpone it. Come on down to the Bolingbrook Cricket Ground, because you see Srijay in magnificent form right now. Hits another big 6. Again, in the very similar shot to just a few, to the previous delivery. And Mohit in his second over. His first over wasn't too bad. Second over gone for a few runs here. 18 runs off it so far with 1 delivery remaining. Certainly messed up his figures. As we see Braeborn making a few field changes. But Srijay's in some magnificent form at the moment. We see another big shot. It's 4 runs to end the over. Srijay moves along to 29 off just 10 deliveries. See that replay there. Doesn't quite get all of that for the boundary, or for the 6, but certainly a good looking shot. 35 for none after 3. We have Pruthvish coming in from the northern end for his second over. As we see, a good ball to start. A dot ball. It's been a little bit rare so far. Spartans are looking to make the most of the power play overs. Just 2 fielders allowed outside the 30-yard circle. And Srijay has certainly made his intentions clear. It was firmly driven straight to the man at a longish mid-off. Perhaps could have gone for the catch. Decided to step back. I believe that's Sanan. Oh, it's Tala. I would been stand correct. It's Tala. Probably was a single there if they really pushed for it. Good delivery from Pruthvish. Safely played by Safta, but unable to push it for a run straight to the fielder at square leg. And this is a much better over, much than the previous one. Much to the delight of the Breybourne captain. There's a good looking shot. Over pitch, full toss, couple of bounces and across the long cover boundary for 4 runs. Excellent shot from Safta. He moves into double figures. Spartans with a record of 1-1 thus far. Be looking to knock the Braeborn table toppers off that pedestal if they can. And they're on pace for a big score right now. Good delivery from Pruthvish. See Safta just dangling his bat outside. Got a little bit of extra bounce. Fortunate not to have picked up the edge. And as it was, just a dot ball. So apart from that boundary, an excellent over so far from Pruthvish. You'd be happy just giving up 4 runs and over in this T20 format. See a few spectators on the hill. Come down for a pleasant evening at Bolingbrook. Another good-looking delivery, extra bounce, high off the bat, straight to the fielder at gully for no run. That brings us to the end of the 4 overs. Spartans 39 for none. We have a change of bowler. It's going to be Tala Musin coming in from the southern end. Tala, the very expert almost in the delivery of Yorkers. It seems to be his favourite delivery. Let's see if he pulls a few of those out. Charging up the hill. I think this is his preferred end. He seems to bowl from this southern end every time he's playing, which helps him get the ball to skip through. Srijay, very familiar with Tala. They played around with each other and against each other very often in the Chicago area. Many of these players quite familiar with each other. We do have a couple of out-of-state players. Tias Patel, playing for Braeborn, comes in from Ohio every match. Here comes Tala. And a bit of a loopy, slower ball that really didn't fool Srijay that much at all. They're going to come back for 2, doesn't quite time it. But some good running from Safta back to the danger end. Picks up an easy 2. And Spartans cross the 40-run threshold. Yes, it's a pleasant evening, some cloud cover. I don't think there's any more threat of rain. It is a little cool. If you do come down, you might want to bring a light jacket with you. No breeze, thankfully. And whipped around the corner. An excellent slide by Tirth. Excellent throw back to the keeper. And just a single. You would have liked to have seen them push a little bit harder, probably with 2 runs in there. If they'd pushed hard, at least put the threat on the field, although give credit to Tirth, he did chase that ball down rather rapidly, and it was an excellent throw back to the keeper. So perhaps they have some knowledge of Tirth's fielding prowess. That's an excellent shot from Safter, just picks it up, whips it across the boundary. The batters were could be accused of ball watching there. They weren't running, and were fortunate that it did just dribble across the boundary. Again, I should remind the batters tonight that there is a bit of moisture on the field. The ball may not roll quite as nicely as it's done in some previous matches, just with that hint of moisture. Good delivery of that from Tala. Yorker length, on the toes. Safter able to just whip it around the corner, pick up an easy single. And Spartans are flying along here. If anyone watched the match last night, we saw the Incredibles get off to a slow start, not able to take full advantage of the power play, and that seems to be the preferred method, is to really have at least one batter going, really pushing the pace in the power play overs. Can't afford to lose a wicket. We see a wide there. Tuller just drifting down the leg side. Fortunate that it did. It was a full toss. If it was anywhere closer to Srijay's pads, he might have whipped that through mid-wicket for some runs. As it is, bonus ball and a bonus delivery. And he's bowled him. There's the comeback. Excellent delivery. Srijay played over the top of that and was beaten by a little bit of extra pace. Looks like Tala put in the hard yards on that one. Clean bowling. We see the zing stumps flying, lighting up the night sky. And that was an excellent delivery. The first wicket goes down. Nonetheless, Srijay with a wonderful cameo. 32 off 13 deliveries has certainly set the Spartans up for a fantastic start here in the power play overs. Spartans 48 for 1 with 1 ball remaining in the 5th over. As we see the new batter come in, new batter's going to be Syed Hassan. Come to the crease. He certainly played a couple of good innings so far in the USAPL. The USAPL, of course, being the gold standard in T20 franchise cricket. Good delivery, well played. It's right off the middle of the bat. All batters like that feeling. The first ball, whether you get a run or not, coming off the meat of the bat. That brings us to the end of 5. Spartans 48 for 1. As we see Pruthfish coming back in for his third over. He's had tidy figures thus far. Of just 12 runs coming from his 2 overs. Not a bad start, especially in the power play. Anything 6 runs or less in T20, certainly you've done your job as a bowler. Just an easy single for Syed Hassan to... I'm sorry, that was Sufter. That was Sufter just getting him another single straight to the man at mid on, and that's going to bring Hassan on strike for his second delivery. Nice looking ball from Pruthfish, but driven firmly to the man. That's Samir Chowdhury charging in from long off. Easy single and a very comfortable bit of fielding. And we do appreciate you out there on Facebook Live. I understand we did have a few technical details to get things rolling, but things seem to be working quite fine now, apart from a few little drops of drizzle. Drifting into the pads there. Clipped away, easy single out to the leg side. See Samir Chowdhury here on the boundary, just rallying the troops. Give Samir here, he's not only a fine cricketer, he's a football coach, high school football coach. Certainly fit, charging after the ball. Certainly a lively night here at Bolingbrook, at the Bolingbrook Cricket Stadium, surrounded by baseball fields. There's some of the baseball noise in the background, teams practicing for their match, or baseball game I guess you call it. And this is a good over by Pruthfish, continuing his form, just giving up singles. So we have just getting the scoreboard corrected, a dot ball to finish the over. Just 5 runs coming from that over. Pruthfish 17 for none after 3 overs, 53 for 1 at the end of the power play. So it's a good start. They did pick up the wicket of Srijay, slowed them down a little bit, but 53 runs in the initial power play. You have this. Backtrack. Should be now. Getting a score check done from the umpires. They're following along, making sure that there's everything's correct with the scorecard. Our scorer here paying full attention to detail and will continue to do so for the rest of the evening. He's not going to be distracted by anyone else talking in his ear, lest they be kicked out of the production booth. It's a correction for the scoreboard here at the ground. Taylor's continuing from the southern end. Good delivery. Squeezed out by Safta for an easy single. And with that rollicking start from Srijay, Spartans have put themselves in a position now for the next few overs. They don't have to do anything too dramatic. If they keep the scoreboard ticking over, pick up 6 or 7 runs and over, certainly pounce on the loose deliveries. And if they can do that, be about the 80-run mark by the 10th over, without the loss of another wicket, they're going to be in excellent position. Certainly aided by some free runs there. We have a wide from Talu's coming over the wicket and just straying a little bit wide-ish, pushing it wide and just outside the tram lines. Big swing from Hassan. Didn't really get all of that, but squeezed it out to the leg side for a single. Perhaps that shot was not required. It was a little bit overpitched. I guess the execution wasn't the best. He leaned back rather than putting his full weight into that shot. See the crouching stance. Crouching stance of Safta just throws off Tala. Tala decides to pull out. And he'll come back to try again. This time Safta just waits in the crease. No fancy footwork. Easy single out to the leg side. The Breybourne Cricket Club in a marvellous, what colour jersey? I'm trying to think the colour. It's sort of it's a pinkish red, vermilion. I think that's the vermilion. We'll go with vermilion, and with the white and blue contrasting colours and piping. Spartans in their majority blue. That's a good-looking bouncer. Got a little big on him, a little bit quicker than he thought. Probably the right choice of shot, just didn't pull it off as well as he should have. Got a lot of glove. Here we see the replay on that one. Yeah, probably a little quicker than he thought. But did play it correctly, so able to scamper through for a single. We see the replay again. It's a replay-heavy shot. See how a little bit of extra pace. Taylor's coming around the wicket. Seems to be his preferred method typically. Big swing, very thick edge. Got a lot of edge on that one. There is a fielder out there. That is Masado. Did a little dance to avoid slipping. Maybe a little slippery underfoot. Come back for two. Safta's on to 20. And Spartans just slowing down a bit. Their charge. And these middle overs, just their charge has been slowed, but they're still just the 1 wicket down. Taylor charges in for what should be the final ball of the over. Good delivery, well played, nice bit of fielding there by Tirth, stretching out to his left, it's his natural left. But they do scamp through for a single, just as it bounces off his hand. End of 7 overs, Spartans 61 for 1.
I brought my shirt.
So it looks like we may have a substitute coming on the field for Breybourne here in a minute. So we have a change of bowler coming in from the northern end. We have Tirth coming on the bowl. So Tirth coming on from the northern end, left arm around the wickets. Tirth, the Ohio representative, just loops that one up a little bit too full. And Sufter not able to do too much with that, but does get a single. Sufter's moved along to 24 of 24. That's a good looking drive. See Samir Chowdhury, maybe the oldest man on the field, but still one of the fittest. Charging around, good throw. That's an excellent throw, direct hit from about 35 metres away. Excellent throw. Safter manages to beat the throw home. So safely back for 2 runs, but nonetheless, that was an excellent display of fielding from Samir Chowdhury. A very popular gentleman in the Chicago cricket area. Tirth continues. Big swing and a miss. Played right over the top of that one, did Ehsan. It was almost slow motion stumping attempt. Back foot did not leave the crease. So perfectly safe, just made a mess of the wicket. Had to be put together there by our umpire, Amaya Redcar, very well established and well recognized umpire in the Chicago area. Good delivery of that from Tirth. They're charging off for a quick single. Good little bit of fielding there, but good call, good running. They set off straight away. Positive running and an easy single in the end. Just like to give a mention to our umpire at the bowling end there. The non-strikers end is umpire Ehsan El-Rahman. He's been in the Chicago area for a long, long time. Very well respected umpire. One of our senior umpires here in the Bolingbrook Premier League and the USAPL. Just chipped away. Tirth does the fielding off his own bowling there. Very excited slide. Perhaps a little unnecessary, but a good visual for everyone out there. And a good ball to finish. Excellent over from Tirth, just giving up the 5 runs, including 2 dot balls. It's the end of 8. Spartans moved on to 66 for 1. Right, who's gone off the field? Right, so we have a change of bowler from the southern end. It's going to be Jay Patel. And we have a substitute fielder on for Breybourne. It's Sai Prithvi Rajpuldi, if I pronounced that correctly. Looks like having a little bit of some flying insect issues. There are a few bugs out with the moisture. May have to get the bug spray out here a little bit later on. And a loopy spin, firmly driven, but just a single. And hats off to Breybourne. They've done a good job of just limiting the run flow for the last few overs. Spartans have done a decent job of just keeping the scoreboard ticking over with ones and twos, but we haven't seen any big boundaries since Srijay was dismissed back in the 5th over. And just as I speak, we see our son pull off a big hit and clears the boundary. There is a man there at cow corner who's right on the boundary and it's directly over his head. So took on the field and manages to pull that off with a big 6. So there's the commentator's curse for the Breybourne Cricket Club, just as I'm praising them for restricting the run flow. See a massive 6 from Syed Hassan. And another big swing. They should be fielded out there, probably just a single, a long single to the man at long on. We have J bowling and J keeping. I don't know how often we see J to J in play. But here we have it today. Bring it to you from the USAPL. Good delivery from Jay Patel. Beat the outside edge. Good comeback there after being clubbed for a big 6. Leap and a bound as he comes in. And an excellent bit of fielding. He got some height there. Perhaps not going to hang off the rim of the basketball court, but certainly a good leap to get the bump ball off his own bowling. And just cramping Sufter for style there. Just a single to end the over. Good comeback. 9 runs coming off the over, including the 1-6, but 2 dot balls as well. Spartans 75 for 1 after 9 overs.
Malinga out here. Let's go. You see him try to bowl? The little one. We got Malinga. The Malinga action. Huh? The next Malinga. Oh, my team buys here now? Can I really hope to? Back from work?
I don't know. Alright, so here we are. We've got T.S. Patel going to continue from the northern end, bowling the 10th over of the match. Just adjusting the field. I believe Masato Sims had just gone off for an over. He's back on the field. And substitute Sai Prithvi has returned to the dugout. Kids continuing. And a lofted drive. 2 fielders converge on that. Masato with the slingy throw straight back to the bowler. Very Caribbean-esque. Loose and languid action.
What's going on?
That's a bigger hit there. Masato underneath it. And he drops it. He didn't quite get himself in good position there. He looked like he was stumbling on perhaps the damp ground. Masato's usually very secure set of hands. Just a single in the end, but that would have been a vital wicket. Will Braeborn perhaps rue that freebie? Let's see what happens. See another big hit. We get another chance. This one may be going a little bit further. And just clears the boundary, clearing Samir Chowdhury. He made a valiant attempt to get it, but he needed to be about 3 foot taller. And unfortunately, he was not. So it's a big 6. Safta moves on to 34. Tears continues with a good ball, coming back after that big 6. Samir Chowdhury dreaming of being a basketball player with that one. Maybe an extra 2 foot might have been able to catch that one. Very positive shot, just leaned into that. And safely through to a single. 1 ball remaining in this, the 10th over. Yes, so perhaps Joel Garner might have caught that one, but Samir Chowdhury about a foot shorter than Joel. Just rocks back, those dropped a little short. There is a fielder out there. And just an easy single. At the end of 10, 85 runs on the board. Spartans looking in fairly comfortable right now. Got a reprieve in that over. With Masato putting down what should have been a simple chance, especially for him. He's usually a very, very safe pair of hands. Nonetheless, 10 overs done. Spartans 85 for 1.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
We have Jay Patel coming in from the southern end, continuing to start the second half of this innings, and welcomed with a boundary. It's a good looking shot. Through deep cover region by Hassan. There we are, see the scores pop up here. Hassan just quietly has moved up to 20 off 15. He hasn't done too much spectacular until he hit that that boundary, but been certainly keeping things ticking over. He tries again, driven very, very firmly. Again, fielder right on the boundary, straight over his head. And it appears the Spartans are looking to accelerate at this point. And that was a no ball as well. And it was a no ball and a 6, so he's going to get a free hit. I'm not sure what the no ball was called for. It might have been just a front foot violation. Perhaps we can get a replay of that. We might see it. But nonetheless, here comes the free hit. And he tries to take advantage of it, but doesn't quite hit it as cleanly as he did the previous delivery. And just a single. Oh, so they're just explaining what the no ball was called for. Another no ball. No ball for the return crease violation. So for those of you unfamiliar with that rule, the line on the very outside of the crease markings is the return crease. And if you break that line in the process of delivering your action, or delivering the ball, it's called a no ball. And that was another free hit, and in this case it was after just taking full advantage and smacking that over the boundary for 6. There's been an expensive over so far and just 2 legal deliveries we've had. Is that 4 or 6? First one was 4 or 6. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's right. Go. And that was firmly driven down the ground. People taking advantage of the damp ground to show off their sliding abilities. Look very good in English Premier League as well, as it was here in the USAPL. Able to field the ball nicely. So expensive over. We've had 11, 12, 19 runs, I believe, coming off this over. 20 runs coming off this over. Still 2 balls remaining. 21 coming off the over so far. That's rather expensive. Just clipped out for an easy single. And should be 1 ball remaining in the over. So 22 runs coming so far, 1 ball remaining. This has been the most expensive over of the innings thus far. Maybe we can get a look at the skyscrapers at the end of this over. Got all of that. Huge 6 straight down the ground. That's a very, very expensive over. 28 runs coming from it. Spartans move on to 113 after 11 overs. With just the 1 wicket down. Spartans are pushing for the record score thus far in the USAPL. On pace for 200. And it appears Braeborn doesn't have any answers. So they're going to turn to Masato Sims, who's a rather zippy fast bowler. High arm action. True to his Jamaican roots. And perhaps Masato can try to peg back the Spartans' march. Skyscrapers. So Masato's coming in from northern end. We see the sun peeking out, late evening sun coming through. Just brightens up the ground, leaves a few shadows there across the crease at either end. See Masato charging in, 777 on his back. And true to the number on his back, that's a heavenly delivery.
777 is upper heaven.
So Safta's moved along to 43. He's certainly playing a great role. And nicely doing the ground. Beat the man at... He was at a wide-ish cover. Wasn't able to get a hand on that. Samir from long off charges down. Just keeps him to the single. He's going to bring Sayed Hassan on strike, who's cruising on quite nicely, 34 off 19. Just chips that away. Easy single to the offside. And just another easy single. So Masato started off quite well. Certainly doing better this over than as we saw from the previous over.
Why are you betting on? Talking to me? Yeah, I'm talking to you. Come see me bet tomorrow. That's what I'm saying. Why aren't you betting up here? I know you're doing good. That's why I'm asking. I didn't mean that as a pun. I meant that seriously. Because you're still thinking me as a boy. Because you are. Shut up. Yeah. Who's he betting about? Huh? Who's he betting about?
And a dot ball. Just the 1 ball remaining in the over. Masato's has come to the rescue. Well, the over's not yet complete. And we see there's a fielder out there on the boundary. Good catch, safely taken by... Can we get an idea who caught that one? Jay Patel caught that. Masada does chime in, brings the Syed Hassan's inning to an end. Nonetheless, it was an excellent inning from Syed. Good cameo. Chipped in with 35 of 21, of 22 actually. And that brings an end to the over. The second wicket goes down at the end of the 12th over. Spartans on 116 for 2.
Why?
Continue. It's going to be Samir Chowdhury coming in from the southern end. I don't think we saw Samir bowl in the previous match. He's a capable bowler. Perhaps a little slower than he was in his youth, but certainly still very capable. I did remark earlier that he's perhaps the oldest, but still the fittest guy on the field. Although Tirth might be challenging him for fitness. Just drifts to the leg side, off the hip. And that is Safta just tapping that around the corner for an easy single. That brings Sunny Singh on strike. Sunny, the left-hander. Although you may notice if you're watching closely, he has a right-handed grip. Unusual grip, but certainly able to generate an insane amount of power. Oh, yeah. See, Samir charging in, and true to form, Sonny just clips that away behind square leg for 4 runs. I just got reminded that Sunny Singh scored the first 50 of the USAPL in the second match of the tournament, when we opened the season with a doubleheader on the Memorial Day Saturday. And I believe it was 50 of about 20 balls or something thereabouts. It was not only the first 50, it was a very, very rapid 50 as well. I just saw there, 1 ball face is already off to a great start. So if Sonny gets going here, I do believe the 200 score could be breached quite easily. So we'll throw it out to anyone there on Facebook Live if you are watching. We see a very positive innings thus far from Spartans. Any comments? What do you think? Ooh, just got beaten on the inside edge. Managed to get a tiny bit of bat on that. Clipped it past the stumps. It was a good delivery from Samir. Big swing. And very fortunate not to see the stumps knocked back there.
Yeah, last year, so like you're from Spartans, and Amon got out.
Oh, that, yeah, he was telling me about that the other day.
And just chopped back into the ground. And just an easy single down the ground to mid-on.
No, because I remember, no, we were talking about something. They talked about like SOP, right? That's when, I think someone told me that they were threatening with play.
Spartans move along to 123. And we see another big swing. Misses. I think caught the wicketkeeper Jay to say a little bit awkwardly there on the glove. It's not easy being a keeper. They tend to have fairly mangled fingers at the end of their career. Smith charges in one more time. Sonny gets a good chunk of that one. There is a fielder out there. Ooh, and he drops it. Had another chance. I couldn't quite see who the fielder was. But it probably should have been taken. He made the hard work to get there. Here we are. Pruthvish. It was Pruthvish down on the boundary. Managed to get there, get both hands to it, but dropped it. Is that four? Did it go across the boundary for four? And after he dropped it, dribbled across the boundary for 4 runs. It's the end of 13. Spartans cruising along at just under 10 runs and over. Will they hit that 10 run and over mark to score 200? They've got 7 overs to do it, and Sonny seems to be in striking the ball fairly well. He's on to 9 off just 4 deliveries. Safter looking to score the second 50 of the tournament.
Who dropped that catch? Split fish, right? Yeah. You're a good fielder.
It's Masada coming back in from the northern end. First ball tapped away for a single. I think Sonny Safter might be just looking to drop back to the strike rotation role and see if Sonny can tee off here. And that's a dead ball. See Masato charge in and then pull out of that. So it's a lot of effort for a dead ball. Slower delivery. Just over the outstretched hands of Tala. I believe that's Tala Mohsin, and fielded by Samir Chowdhury. The poor Samir just bowled from the one end, and now they throw him back up long on at the previous end. He should have to have a word into his captain about that. Covering a lot of ground is Samir Chowdhury today. Perhaps we should team up with a monitoring system, see how much he runs during a match. Good looking delivery from Masato, a dot ball. Masato chiming in at the right time, just when Breybourne Cricket Club needed him the most. And going for just 5 runs in his 9 deliveries so far, with the very important wicket. Another good delivery. A little bit of extra pace. Beat him outside off stump. Swing and a miss by Safter. firmly driven, unable to feel it. A little bit of a mix up there. And both batters back to their respective ends for no run. Now we hear Samir giving some encouragement. And very truthful words have not been spoken. Excellent Masato, and he has been bowling excellently. Safter charges down the ground, should just be a single. They're looking for two, but no. Safter will be on strike at the end of that over to start the next over to perhaps bring up his 50. Spartans 130 for two. After 14 overs, 6 remain. So I'll throw it out to you folks on Facebook Live. What score shall the Spartans come up with here? Do you think they'll break the 200 mark? And if not, what score? What score shall they get? And we see a big hit. They're going to come back for two, and that does bring up the 50. 50 for Safter. Moves on to 51 of just 47 deliveries. Excellent knock. Just acknowledges the crowd and his teammates. So we've had two 50s in the tournament, and both of them been scored by Spartans. Do we have the Braeborn read? Do they have the Google Drive Breybourne? I'll do the read.
Let me check it.
Samir continues. That was a big swing, doesn't time that at all. Straight to the fielder for no run. Oh, you have the opportunity, just like to have everybody have a good look at those uniforms. Uniforms supplied by Mace Cricket and Cricket Merchant. Well, Cricket Merchant, who's slapped, just beat the man at cover. Might have got a hand to that. And they just scamper through for a single. It was a good effort. So yes, thank you to Cricket Merchant and to Mace for the uniforms, and also supplier of the balls. We've got the Kookaburra balls in action for tonight and for use throughout the whole USAPL tournament. Excellent balls. We've had lots of good feedback on these, holding up very well, especially when there is a little bit of moisture, as you would expect. Kookaburra. From my home country, of course, of Australia. We see Sonny get under that one. He may be lucky. Oh, good catch. That was an excellent catch on the boundary there. Sonny got under that more than he did through that one. Went very, very high. Good bit of fielding. Is that Proofish? Proofish? Okay, I think that's Proofish, the fielder who took that catch. It is okay. So it's Proofish. Fantastic catch, and that brings about the departure of Sunny Singh, who is out for 10. Where'd you go?
I haven't gotten the score wrong.
I know, but this has got to be done as well. I'm doing this. I can't do it Alright, so we have Samir Chowdhury continuing from the southern end. Just taps that away to the new man, Karan Kumar. I just remind you that we have adopted the incoming ICC rule for the USAPL, effective all tournaments starting after October the 1st. ICC has adopted the rule that the incoming batter goes to the striker's end, regardless of whether the batters cross while the ball is in the air and a catch is made or not. So, but we have adopted that rule early, much like the IPL and many other T20 tournaments around the world. And the crowd catch, but the crowd didn't respond. Tap back to Samir, fields off his own bowling. Good over that, so that's 2 good overs in a row for Breybourne. They've been pegging the Breybourne Cricket Club back. That should be the end of 15 overs, 134 for 3. Spartans have just slipped under that 9 run per over rate. Still on track for a good score. We've got people throwing it out here. We've got VJ, 180 is his prediction, and he's right on target with that right now. Haider Qureshi's throwing out 187. And we just see the umpire asking for a ball change. Perhaps they'll just lost its shape a little bit. It does happen with the moisture. So far 2 people predicting 180, 187. May well be on target. We do have Safdar Syed still out there, 52 off 50. And he has played a little bit of a back seat for the last few overs. But no doubt his eye is in. And obviously Karan Kumar is a very well-known batter around the Chicago area. Very, very capable. Elegant batter. Certainly a bit more technical in his stature than some other batters. Good stroke maker, but also able to play some big strokes as well. We see him just calmly just guide that through to the man at the equivalent of a fly slip position on the 30-yard circle for an easy single. And that brings Safdar on strike. Safdar drives that firmly. Samir Chowdhury out on the boundary, gets to it quickly, whips it back. Good throw to the keeper, keeps it low with the lights coming on and the sun. You don't want to get it too high up into the sky. But Masato continuing from the northern end. Masato with the excellent figures, 8 for 1 off 2.2 overs. Good delivery. Karan didn't hit that anywhere near where he wanted to go. Looks like he was trying to guide that out onto the offside. As it was, caught the edge, dribbled over to the leg side, but there was no fielder there. A lot of the fielders are pushed back. And an easy single. Uppishly chopped through the, I guess that would be the cover region, forward of cover. And again, just a single. Braeborn would be very happy at this point to be just give up singles and singles. And again, just another single. That's 5 consecutive singles. Breybourne are doing a good job. They'd be, at this point, probably satisfied if they can peg Spartans back to about 170, 175. You see Masato just pull out of these run up there again. Not sure what happened, but perhaps he got a bug in the face as he was Something unusual threw him off. I think it might have been the bugs. Drifts down the leg side. Don't want to give up the free run, but he does. Called wide. Masada will be disappointed with that. He had a good over going. An edgy shot. So after guys out around, they're going to charge back for 2. And they're going to get it. There was some good running. Excellent running. Brings us to the end of 16. Spartans 142 for 3. Curran's on 4. And Safta's on 56 off 53. Alright, so we have 4 overs remaining. Going to be Samir Chowdhury continuing from the southern end with an unusual run to the crease. It's turned around the corner. They might look for 3. Well, Masada does have a good arm. Slings it back, just a little wide of the stumps. And 3 runs to Curran. That was the scoop shot. All right, we have Safta on strike. Looking to push on. Getting some good bowling by Breybourne recently has helped peg back. Charges to the crease of Samir, and then we see Safta take off.
Wow,
Full extension. Swung through, big hit over cow corner, 6 runs. And that's the 150 up for the Spartans. Excellent shot. And we'll get back to the predictions. 180 certainly looks on the cards. Just adjusting the field. And see him have another big swing. There is a fielder out there. Doesn't get that exactly where he wanted it to go. So it'll be an easy single down to long on. So the highest score so far in the USAPL has been the Spartans, who scored 174 in the second match of the tournament. They're looking to overtake that mark tonight, and they could well do it. They've got plenty of wickets in hand, but they also have 2 renowned batters at the crease. Although a big swing and a miss, wide-ish outside off stump. Good ball from Samir. Good comeback. Every dot ball is precious at this stage.
And somebody paid for everybody as always.
Appealing for a stumping, not out. The umpire San Rahman.
Pulls the card out. Dude, I didn't know he had a key. Oh, you didn't know this? And Arnold, right?
Just get the stumps reassembled. Samir poised, ready to come charging back in for the final ball of the over. Wide, might be called a wide, it is, by Amir, umpire Amir. Extra run. Breybourne really can't afford to be giving away too much. But Samir looks to be just trying to keep it away from the batter. But Curran is very capable of playing lofted cover drives. He might be in his wheelhouse there. As we see right there is a fielder out there going straight to him. Takes a very comfortable catch. Can't fault Curran for going for it at this stage. The ball was there to be hit. It didn't quite get all of it. Looks it came off the toe end of the bat. Fielder out there is Shiv. Takes an easy catch. Makes it look very simple. And Curran is now out. 153 for 4 at the end of 17. So the end of 17 overs, 153 for 4. Safdar, I believe, has the highest individual score in the tournament so far, overtaking Ranak Sharma from the Cardinals, who scored 57. So I do stand corrected. This is actually the third half century of the tournament so far. It's also the highest score, 63 of 55. It's going to be Masato coming in from the northern end for his final over, which then begs the question, who will be bowling the death over? Who will be bowling the 20th over from the northern end? We'll find out soon. But right now, Masato's coming in for the 18th over. Got excellent figures of 14 for 1 off his 3. See a big swing from Safdar. There's a fielder out there. There's the ball swirling around. That was the hungry man effort there. He made a meal of it. Didn't really get himself positioned too well under that, but may have just lost sight of it in the fading light of the sky. We do have the tower lights taking full effect. Sato coming back in, lanky Caribbean style, much better shot from Safdar. Satisfied with the single. Again, it's once again Samir Chowdhury fielding the ball, charging around all over the field. It's going to bring Edward. Edward is a new batter to the crease. Will face his first delivery. Edward's also capable of hitting the ball hard and mighty, but he's up against Masato, who's been bowling very well. Just whips around. Oh, they're going to charge for a single, a chance for a run out. Good bit of fielding. The throw was a little errant, but nonetheless, just a single in the end. Not too bad. That brings the dangerous Safdar back on strike. Safdar with a big shot. Samir's out there. Should be just a single. One bounce. Clean pickup. Good throw back to the fielder, or to the bowler's end. All happened very rapidly, that did. Breybourne looking very patriotic in the red, white and blue. A little bit short, and drifting down the leg side. Edward able to turn on that. Didn't get all of that. Should have been 2 runs, but Edward slipped at the non-striker's end, which prevented him coming back for the second. And just a single in the end. It was a lot of work for just 1 run. Not a bad looking shot. Didn't quite get all of that. Again, it's only the second delivery he's faced, so his timing may not quite be there, but obviously at this stage of the innings, just 2 overs remaining after this, not a lot of time to get your eye in. Again, Masato pulls out of his run up. And an over-pitched full toss. Safter not able to do too much with that. He was looking for perhaps the no ball call, but it wasn't that high. It was about stump height when it got to him. And a dot ball to end what is the end of a good over and a good spell from Masato. Just 20 runs coming from his 4 overs and the vital wicket as well. Spartans now 159 for 4 after 18. 2 overs remaining. Will the threat of 180 come about? VJ hopes so. Mir Chowdhury coming back to finish his spell as well. His final over, his 4th and final allowed. He's picked up 2 wickets. Drops a bit short. Edward turns on that. It will just be the single. There's a man coming in from deep mid wicket. Gentle but straight return back to the bowler. Safter back on strike. Yeah, Safter's batting well. He does hit that rather nicely, but to the man, straight to the man in the deep. And again, just another single. I think Braeborn would be satisfied giving up singles every ball to finish this, which would limit Spartans to about 170 or so. I think the Braeborn would be pretty happy with that. They've shown so far they can chase down meagre targets. That may be a wide. It is. Umpire Mayor Redcar calling that a wide outside the off stump. As he too brushes away a few bugs. Samir charging in. Ungainly run to the crease. Edward chops it straight to the fielder. There's no run. Dot ball. That helps make up for the wide the previous over. The previous delivery, I should say. Edward gets all of that. There is a fielder out there, but he just watches it clear his head. Big 6. And Spartans will be looking for a few more of those in the final part of their innings. Did get clear the long on boundary very comfortably. That ball travelled at least 80 metres. for those of you listening in Imperial, that would be about 88, 90 yards.
What effect does it have on it?
Wideish outside off stump, umpire Mayer unmoved. Edward just watches it go by. Can't afford to give up free deliveries either at this moment. Edward disappointed. If he had a swing and miss, perhaps that would convince the Mayor that it was wide, but he did not. Final ball of the over, got underneath it, uppish. There is a fielder out there. And that was caught by Arvind Chervu. That was about as easy a catch as you'll find in this form of the game. That was catching practice, and he made it look easy. That brings us to the end of the over, and also the demise of Edward Lawrence, out for 9 off 7. 19 overs gone. Samir Chowdhury picks up his 3rd wicket. A little bit expensive. Gave up 35 runs, but the 3 wickets are handy. And we have 1 over remaining in the innings, 6 balls. Looks like it's going to be Tala Mohsin coming in to bowl it. Tala's renowned for the Yorkers. New batter in is Zeel Patel. Again, we're following the new rule, so Zeel would go to the striker's end, but that being the end of the over, he's now up the non-striker's end, as obviously we changed sides with the new bowler. It's Tala Mohsin. Spartans pushing for 180 perhaps. Let's go back to the previous prediction. It was Vijay. Predicted 180. Haida Qureshi predicted 187. And it's a bit late for me to predict at this stage. Ooh, not a wide. Wide-ish within the tram lines. Umpire Ehsan just watches that go through, unmoved, steadfast, motionless, and whatever other adjective you can throw out there. Good delivery from Tala. And again, he just pulled out of his run-up. There's something about that end. And a big shot by Safta. There is a fielder out there, but it easily clears his head. And that is a 6. Safta moves on to 74. He's easily got the highest individual score in the USAPL to this point of the tournament. So I guess it's a record that he can break himself this very next delivery. Tala would not be happy with that. And now he tries the lap shot around the corner. There's no one there. It's racing all the way towards the boundary. Doesn't go all the way. Back for 2. And 3 balls remaining. Spartans now up to 176. Vijay's prediction of 180 is looking pretty solid. But there's an outside chance, especially if we pull off another 6. For the 187 predicted by Haida Qureshi. Big shot. Are they going to push for 2? They will push for 2. Zeel Patel, the new batter at the crease, running to the non-striker's end, the danger end. Oh, and they're going to whip through for a bonus. 3 runs. Perhaps could have been a run out, but Tala took off the bails without the ball in his hand. Bit of pressure on the field there brought about that extra run. See the keeper there just flip it towards the stumps. Probably not necessary. That's Jay Desai, the keeper. Zeel with the first delivery he's faced. Picks up an easy single, and that brings us to 1 ball remaining. So in the absence of a wide or a no ball, I think you're out of luck there, Haida. Vijay be hoping for a dot ball. maybe a swing and a miss. And I think Safta's hoping for a big hit to finish this inning off in style. 180 on the board, highest team score so far. And it is just tapped back for 1 run. And that brings us to the end of the innings, halfway point in the match. Spartans with 181 for 5 on the board. Very good innings. And setting a target of 182 for Breybourne to achieve for victory. It was a good innings underway with a quick 30-odd from Srijay, but obviously the man of the innings there, Safta Sayed, with 80 off 65. Excellent score. We are going to take a break. We'll be back in 10 minutes for the resumption of this match for the second half, and we'll see you then. 6. That's ridiculous. Oh, what have you done, dude?